All right. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Jones, our athletic director, and Coach Lindsay for entrusting our football team to me tonight to get them ready to play hard and to try to win this football game. Obviously, we didn't do that. Very frustrated, very emotional locker room right now. Our guys they're coming to work every day and they're doing the things that we're asking them to do. And sometimes in football you do that and the results don't show up on the field. And when that happens, and especially when it happens to 19 to 22-year-old young men, frustration sets in. And I think that's a little bit of what's going on, but I fully believe in this team. I know Coach Lindsay talks about TKGs all the time, and what we're trying to do in this program is bring men of character who are great football players that love Troy University and love the game of football. And I think we're getting really close to having a room full of that. And so while the outcome on the field wasn't what we wanted tonight, I was really proud of the way our guys played in the second half, especially defensively. I didn't think in the first half we had a whole lot of energy. Thought we made too many mistakes. I spoke to the guys at halftime. I think at halftime we had 4 penalties and a turnover, and they had none in either category. So I think that was a major factor in that first half. And still, it was a one-score ball game, so we were right there in the midst of it. I thought our defense played great in the second half, gave us some opportunities and we moved the ball in spurts. But just weren't able to finish drives, whether it be the turnover in the red zone down there or having to punt on third down and long a couple of times. But really proud of the effort that our guys displayed. Obviously not happy with the outcome, disappointed that I wasn't able to get it done for Coach tonight. I know he's back home and he's probably already watching it and evaluating and looking at things, and I know he's in a tough spot and probably frustrated as well, probably more so than us, because when you have to sit at home and your football team's out there playing, I can only imagine how frustrating that is. But we continue to work. We want to represent this university the right way, and so we're going to continue to do that and try to give our guys the best opportunity to be successful on Saturdays. And we'll do what we always do. We'll go back, we'll evaluate the film, we'll evaluate what we're doing on all 3 phases of the game, and try to give our kids a plan that'll help us be successful next week. Okay, questions? The play calling tonight. Well, our offense coordinator, Ryan Pugh, and our running back coach, Cole Weeks, kind of did it together. I think Cole was the primary play caller, but the two of them worked in unison together to do that. I know Coach Weeks has been with Coach Lindsay a long time, very familiar with his scheme, and his philosophy. Was a graduate assistant for him in a couple of different places, I believe. And so I think he was a primary play caller, but when I was clicking over on the offensive side of the ball listening, there was a lot of communication going on between the two of them. Yeah, here's the thing. I love Gunnar Watson. He's a tough kid. I don't know how many kids in college football are willing to come back as fast as he did and fight for his team and fight for this university, and I think it means something to him. And I think you guys that are around this program know how much it means to him. I don't know how particularly well he played. I know we had the 2 turnovers, but I'm really, until you watch film, I think you got to be careful in judging turnovers, because sometimes it's a protection issue, sometimes it's a route issue. And I know the quarterbacks always get the blame in those kind of things, but until you watch the film, it's hard to say. I feel certain that Coach Lindsay will have that and do that and have meetings with Gunnar. But I thought he played tough. I don't think that he's 100%, but I do think that he is in a position where he wanted to fight for his team tonight, and I think he gave us the best chance to be successful today. Gosh, I guess was it Thursday night? Late Thursday night, I think it was.
I guess overall, the 3 losses in the last 4 games. You mentioned that the locker room kind of feels it right now. I guess what's the one thing that's not happening? What are the things?
Well, I mean, it's different in each game, but here's the thing. It's not just the 3 losses. It's 3 losses where we're right down there to the end of the game. You look at the Georgia State game, and even tonight, we're an onside kick away from getting the ball and having a chance to go down and kick a field goal, and even in Georgia Southern game. So they're those close games. And here's the deal. The margin of error in our league is so small. The teams are really, really good, and if you look across our conference, there's a lot of comparable teams in our league, and so you can't afford to make mistakes and win in this, in our league. And then you look at a team like tonight, like Middle Tennessee, they were hungry. We go down there and beat them pretty good in the first game of the year. And so they were a motivated football team. And talking to their coach at the beginning of the year, they went back and they've been having spring training-like practices and trying to get his team to play well. And they played hard tonight. I thought they had a great plan. I mean, they ran their quarterback a lot. They tried to keep our offense off the field, and our offense is about explosive plays, and we just weren't able to make them tonight. But obviously the frustration in the losses is the fact that you're in those ball games and you're just not able to finish.
What was the secret behind their running game? It seemed like, especially in the first half, the quarterback was able to find some holes and kind of get some big jumps.
Yeah, I think they mixed up a bunch of formations. That's probably a better question for Brandon Hall. He just in talking with him, I think early in the game and talked to him at halftime, they were giving us a bunch of formations that probably we have not seen. I thought our guys adjusted well at halftime, really came back in the second half defensively and played well. But a lot of it is just what we call in coaching +1 runs. When you're running your quarterback a lot, then you're actually getting an extra blocker by using your running back. And they did a good job of that. And then he's a tough player, played great. And, he gave his team a good chance to win tonight. And they made one more play than we did.
Midway through the fourth quarter, you guys were around 50 or so, scored 2, decided to punt it. Is there a decision maybe on time to go for it, or were you trusting the defense and what they had done?
Yeah, we had just come off 2 pretty good defensive stops. And what my thought was right there was if we could punt it and pin them back deep and give our offense a short field, then we had a chance to score. And so that was the thought process there. And we still had the timeouts that we were able, to our that we could use. So that was kind of my thought process there. And, there's still, I believe there was about 8 minutes, 50 seconds, just under 9 minutes left at the time. And so my thought process right there was at that time it was a 1-score game, if I believe. And so if we could pin them back, get the stop because our defense was playing well, and get a short field, we'd have a chance to go down and score. And obviously it didn't. They got the ball out from down there, and but it didn't work out obviously the way we wanted to. But that was kind of the thought process behind that.
Late in the third quarter, I think you guys had like maybe 12 yards rushing, and then that one possession DJ racked up like 65 or so yards. What's it say about him to be able to, even though things are going slow, he can maybe rack up some big jumps in a hurry?
Yeah, and BJ has been through so much, and you guys know that are aware of his story. He's a tough kid too, and he's not 100% either. But nobody's 100%. We talk about it all the time, and you're not going to be 100% when you play this game after about the first day of practice. But BJ has an innate ability to do 2 things. I think he has a great vision that gives him a chance to make people miss. But the best thing about BJ is people want to be around him. He's got an infectious personality, and he has an impact on the other guys in this program. And so, I think that's probably the most important thing about him. But from just a player standpoint, he can make you miss, but where he's missing it right now is just that burst. But he did show flashes of that tonight, and so really proud of him and the way he played in the second half. And he's a guy that's been a great ambassador for this program, continues to be and will be.
As much as you can, kind of talk about what's next for you, the coaching staff, as you guys get ready to go for next week.
Yeah, so what we'll do tomorrow is we'll between now and tomorrow, each of us will grade our positions, grade the tape, try to figure out what went wrong, and have a plan for corrections. I assume we'll probably meet with Coach Lindsey through a Zoom meeting, talk through what he saw as he watches the film, and he'll kind of direct that. And then obviously I think with the change in the school schedule being Thanksgiving week, there'll be some logistical things that'll go on there. And we got great staff and administration here that'll handle all that. They'll just tell us where to be and when to be there. And our job is going to be to coach our players and try to get them ready. But we'll continue to move forward, push forward, put a game plan in, and kind of stay the course with what we've been doing. And I don't think our daily schedule will change very much. And we'll try to have our kids ready to go next weekend, and boom.
I didn't see him out there today. I may have missed a depth chart or something. Was Kamani Vidal available today?
Yeah, he was.
Follow up to the earlier question. When did you guys find out that the players wouldn't be available today?
I'm not real sure. There's a lot of it. And, this year's been an up and down year. You always have injuries and those kind of things in football. So our trainers are doing everything they can do. And sometimes we have to play with whoever's standing on the sideline. So I'm not 100% sure on all that injury stuff or all that. So probably a better question for somebody that's way more advanced in that deal than me.
Somebody you're familiar with, Jack Martin starting to come around as the primary punter.
Right. Yeah, Jack's been working hard early in the season. You know, Jack hasn't been a punter by trade. He's been a kickoff guy, and for us last year as a true freshman was our kickoff guy. And but as the quarantine stuff started, he started punting. And early in the season, his operation times were a little slow, so weren't quite comfortable getting him out there. But he has worked really hard on that. Obviously, his leg is incredibly strong. It speaks for itself. But he has done so much work to get his operation times down to where you feel comfortable putting him out there. And so really proud of him and the work that he's done. Would love for him not to have to go out there and punt, but you feel really good that he could turn the field over, and I think he showed that he could do that tonight. Actually even handled one that was a little bit of a bobble snap, handled it, got it off. So Jack's a guy that's a great player for us and will continue to be for us for a long time.
We got time for one more.
Oh, I felt fine today physically. Had been practicing all week really well, felt well, and I felt fine out there physically.
There was a lot of short passes in the offense tonight. Were you limited at all in long balls, or was that just the way the offense?
No, I mean we weren't limited at all. That's just where the ball went, and that's just how I was reading it out, and that's just how it went tonight.
How different was it this week with Lindsey out and the other?
I mean, not that much different. I mean, he was here all the way till Thursday, and you know, Coach Weeks played quarterback for him at Southern Miss when he was offensive coordinator. So, and he's was a GA for him at Auburn, so he's been with him for a while. Not much different, but we just didn't execute, or I didn't execute.
What was different about this matchup with Middle Tennessee compared to what the start of the season? Did they do anything differently on defense that you guys saw?
No, not really. They basically played us the same. I mean, maybe dropped a few more people out than they did last time, but mostly it was the same, and we just didn't execute as well as we did last time.
Can you describe what the locker room was like after the game?
I mean, there's a lot of emotion. People were upset, and I mean, you should be if you're not, and you're not really a competitor. But we just gotta move on and come back in here tomorrow and get to work.
You guys are doing the right thing in practice, not showing up here on Saturday. What's the thing that is most missing overall?
I would say just execution, or just small, not really small mistakes, but there's a mistake here and there. Like we're driving, I throw an interception, and that happens, and that just sets us back really bad, puts the defense in a bad spot, and just kind of takes away our momentum a little bit. We're just making a mistake here and there.
We talked about the running back group the week before, but struggling a little bit early on in the game, and then BJ kind of lit a fire there late in the third quarter. What is it like having him back there, just being able to kind of get a little spark going from the offense?
I mean, he leads by example. I mean, when he started running that ball late in the third quarter, I mean, he was getting 10, 15 yards of carry, and we were rolling, and then come down there and throw a pick. So, I mean, it kind of, like I said, something little like that just kind of blows our momentum away.
What did you think about around the 8-minute mark in the fourth quarter? Coach sent the punting team out there. It was 4th and 2. What do you think about that call? Do you think you guys could have stayed on the field?
I mean, that's his call, and I think all of us supported either way. I mean, our defense was playing good. They stopped them, heck, I mean, 3-4 times in a row. So, I mean, you give the defense a good shot to pin them back and stop them, and that's what he did. So that's how it went. No, I wouldn't say I felt rusty. I just didn't execute, didn't see the field real well, didn't see people sometimes when I should have, and just how it went.
First half, they seemed really going by the ball with their quarterback, off a little bit on the outside. Did you do anything different than the first time you guys played?
Nah, we were just beating ourselves. A lot of missed tackles. A lot of times we lost the edge. Just kept on shooting ourselves in the foot, and that's what got their momentum started.
Last few losses you guys have had has been by single possession. What's it gonna take for you guys to maybe get over the hump and win these close games?
I don't know, honestly, but we're missing it, and we just hope this week we could find it, because we're about to play another good ball team that we could definitely compete with, and we're just gonna hope that we could finish out and get a W.
What's the mood like in the locker room right now after this loss?
It's always the mood's always kind of bad when you lose, especially in a close fashion like this. But initially it was sadness and sorrow, but we just know that once we fix what we got to do, that there's not a lot of teams that can play with us, and we just got to figure that out, honestly.
And then Coach Lindsey does a lot more with offense. Is that your background? But not having him here tonight, does that change anything on the defensive side of the ball or anything like that?
No, sir. We have a next man up mentality. Coach Lindsey's warned us that we're gonna in this room. He literally told us we're gonna need everybody in this room, and he even said that at any point he could go down and next man up. So we just kept that mentality. We just are gonna keep that mentality from now and the rest of the season.
I mean, nothing really, specifically different. We played in week 1, and I think it's like week 8 now. So what I'm saying, everybody gonna make progress and get better throughout the season. So I mean, it really wasn't nothing, that they did spectacular, that shocked us, or that we couldn't handle. It's just at the end of the day, we just didn't make enough plays and kind of ran out of time there at the end. So yeah, that was kind of on us.
Last few losses have been by a single possession. What's it gonna take for you guys to get over these humps and win this football game?
It all goes to the little things. The little things matter. Little things like going to class throughout the week. Going to treatment throughout the week. Believe it or not, but games are lost not on Saturdays. They lost Monday through they lost or won. Monday through Thursday and Friday. So and like you said, one possession. That's little things. Little things, small things. So that's just something we got to correct and got to harp on. Doing the little things right.
The rushing attack wasn't really existed until really the third quarter. What do you guys have to change up? I know execution and what's got to work differently heading into the last 4 games.
I mean, really, how I see it, you just got to make plays. Regardless of if it's a run or a pass, anything. Once one person makes a play, I feel like we get in a rhythm, and everybody starts making plays. And and I feel like today, we got behind the chains a couple times. We shot ourselves in the foot, whether it was a negative play, false start, anything. Whenever we got behind the chains, bad things happen. We end up punting or something like that. And when we made good plays and positive plays, we moved the ball effectively. So we just gotta, come out fast and start making plays. And that's at the end of the day, that's all it is. Just gotta make the routine plays.
How would you kind of grade out the rushing game throughout the course of the season?
I mean, it hasn't been good enough. I tell you that. Speaking on today, we got to go and watch the film, because things are different, when you out there playing, and then when you watching on film, actually correcting it, but point blank period, it just ain't been good enough this year. So that's on us, and I feel like as a leader of the running back room, that falls on me, and yeah, we just got to correct that as a unit.
It was really good early in the year, though, at times. How frustrating is it now with things not being clicking?
I mean, you can't. Well, it's definitely frustrating, but you can't get rattled. Things are never as good as they seem, and they're never as bad as they seem either. So, we started off the season, running the ball pretty effectively, and we kind of hit a hump, and it kind of been downhill since, and it's just some things we got to correct. Like I told you a couple weeks ago, it's little things like setting a track, running, and just making one person miss. You know what I'm saying? Like coach tells us all the time, we scholarship players too. And they got scholarship players too. We got to earn our scholarship, so we got to wait. We got to be able to make somebody miss, and that's all it falls down to at the end of the day.
How, if at all, would you say some of the coaches not being available, some of the players not being available later in the week because of COVID and some restrictions there? How do you think that impacted the preparation for the game and the way you guys usually go about business?
I mean, it's a change, but at the same time, it was manageable. and the coaching staff and the athletic directors, they all felt like, you know, it was definitely manageable. That's why we were out there playing. If they didn't think it was manageable, we wouldn't be out there playing. So it was manageable, and that's definitely not an excuse, you know, because we still had players out there playing that were capable, more than capable of making plays. We just didn't make them.
Knowing that there's still so many goals ahead for you guys, still 4 more games, still a chance for fall forward, things like that. How much more hungry does that make you guys heading into
You know, we just as hungry as we were yesterday and 2 days ago and 3 weeks ago. Point blank period, you know, we still have games to play. We still have season left. So whether it was 1 game or 10 games left, you know, we have to treat each day, you know, like our season's on the line. So, you know, we still definitely hungry. And, you know, we just got to get ready to go back to work tomorrow.